Shabbat Shalom umevorach, buchim habayim. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This week we'll be reading Parashat Terumah. And we ended off last week with Moshe Rabbeinu after Har Sinai, giving us Matan Torah, giving us the Aseret HaDibrot. Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Shamayim to later on give us the Luchot. But the Torah pauses the next two parashiyot. And the Torah speaks about the building of the Mishkan. In this week's parasha, Kadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe, tell the Jews, it's the first time in Jewish history that the rabbis start fundraising. We need materials, 13 different materials to build the beautiful Mishkan, the house and the home of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Terumah speaks about the kelim, all the vessels of the Mishkan, and Tetzaveh speaks about the clothing of the Kohen and the Kohanim. And in this week's parasha, the vessels, each one was significant, each one was special on its own merit. You have the Aron, where it belonged in the Kodesh HaKodashim, the holiest vessel. You had the menorah, you had the Shulchan, the Mizbeach. Every single one, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us exactly the dimensions and the materials and how to make it. But if you look at something interesting, Rabotai, the building of the Aron was the holiest vessel. It sat in the Kodesh HaKodashim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu commands Moshe, I want you to build it. It was a box. I want you to build it in 3 compartments. The first compartment, the smallest box, should be out of gold, pure gold. The middle compartment should be out of wood. And the biggest compartment should be out of gold as well. So if you think about it, we're talking about the Aron that sits in the Kodesh Kodashim. One of the most beautiful kelim with the kiruvim. There's so much gold. Because gold was the highest level, the highest level of material. So why, if there's 3 compartments, why would the middle one be wood? If we look in the parasha, it goes in order of levels of the materials, and the first pasuk starts off with gold, silver, and copper. And then it lists other things, weaves, skins of animals. And then it goes, one of the last ones, Rabotai, was wood. Atzeh shitim. So why in the Aron, which was such a holy and significant vessel, Keli, why would HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell us to put wood in the middle? Doesn't that ruin it? Doesn't that lower the level of chashuvnis? So we have to understand what is the lesson the Torah giving us. What is HaKadosh Baruch Hu telling us over here? HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, who's going to be carrying the Aron? We know the Mishkan was temporary till the Bet HaMikdash. And whenever they traveled, every single time, the Anei Kavod, the clouds moved, whether it was a day, a month, or a few years, the Jews had to pick up and leave and go to the next location. And part of their picking up and leaving was folding up the Mishkan, taking the kelim, and the kelim they used to carry. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, my children, the Levim, are going to be carrying the Aron on their backs. If it's going to be 3 compartments of gold, it's going to be very heavy. And I don't want to be matriach them. I don't want them to work so hard. So I'm going to make the middle compartment wood to shed some weight and make it lighter. Also, we see this in the Mizbeach, in the altar. We know that it was mainly made out of wood and the outside was gold. Also, so it should be lighter for the Levim and the Kohanim to carry. But what are we learning over here? What is God telling us? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us that the Aron, which is the holiest vessel, that belongs where? In the Kodesh HaKodashim, the holiest room in the world, where the Kohen Gadol, one person only, goes into this room once a year on Yom Kippur to mechaper all the averot and avonot of Am Yisrael. And you have the Aron with the Keruvim that was so significant to us. And in the smallest box, we put the Luchot and the small Sefer Torah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm going to be willing to sacrifice a little bit of the beauty and to put wood, which is the lowest material, just that it'll be easier for my children, the Leviim, to carry. What is this teaching us, Rabotai? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying He's willing to sacrifice on Himself, on the most beautiful thing, just to not harm someone else and maybe to hurt someone else. Rabotai, this is such an important lesson for us. We all want to do mitzvot. We all love HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We all run to do mitzvot. But sometimes in life, we don't realize that could be the mitzvah you're doing, whatever it is, could be you're sacrificing or harming someone else. Could be when you're giving tzedakah and we love giving tzedakah, and people love putting their names on it. Could be the family you're giving are so poor, they're embarrassed, they don't want people to say their name, and you're walking around saying your name. Whatever it is, but when HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants a mitzvah for us, He doesn't want us to sacrifice on someone else, even if it's so important to Him. Another great example that we have is we love going to shiurim, to learn Torah, to go pray. But sometimes we think about the shiur and the learning and the praying, and we don't realize, what about our wife? What about our children at home? Is it the right time? Should I maybe be praying at a later time or an earlier time that I could help? You could help your wife, you could help your children, or going to shiurim in the morning or at night. Some people want to learn the whole day. But what about your wife? What about your children? They come first as well. Obviously, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants your Torah, He wants your learning. He wants us to go to shiurim. But we have to see, what the mitzvah am I doing? Is it causing any harm to someone else? People do chesed, run around the whole day to do chesed, to give tzedakah, to help people. But do you do chesed to your family as well? Unfortunately, people are so busy doing chesed, they forget about the biggest chesed, which is, again, their wife, their children. Are you there for them just like you're there for other people? Or when it comes to other people, everyone sees and they say your name, so everyone gets excited. So we have to make a cheshbon. We want to do mitzvot. We want to come closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to see us caring for every single Jew. And when we do a mitzvah, whether it's giving tzedakah or going to minyan or going to shiurim, we have to see, am I doing it and it's just for me, or is there a cheshbon for others? Is there someone else losing out by doing the mitzvah? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us in this parasha, with the Aron, with his Aron in the Mishkan, that if you're going to do a mitzvah and it's going to come to hurt or cause pain, or it's going to be on someone else's cheshbon, I don't want it. So Be'ezrat Hashem, if we learn this lesson and do the mitzvot properly and caring for every single Jew, we'll see the Geulah very soon. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach.